Modern anime that will be classics.
Classic anime. Those are series that came out years ago and were so good that we still watch them to this day. Stuff like Cowboy Bebop, Death Note, or even the original Naruto. I am so old. But what about the stuff?
What you mean the original Naruto? Why you acting like Shippuden wasn't a classic as well? Why you acting like they not the same joint for real as well? Don't do that.
That's coming out now. What modern anime
Don't do Shippuden like that, bro.
Genuinely amazing
Don't
that
do
people will still be watching them in years. Today, I'm going to try to predict which anime from the last decade will become certified classics.
Oh, last decade? Hold on. Let me get a snipe off. Last decade, that means 2016 and beyond. I want to say My Hero, but My Hero is like 2014. It slightly missed the cutoff, but it's like My Hero just ended. My Hero literally just ended like 2 months ago. So I think that I would count that low key. If it started in 2014 and it ended in 2019, I wouldn't count that, but I'll say My Hero for sure. That's my snipe.
I think there's honestly no better place to start this list.
Oh yeah, he counted Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan was like 2013. Yeah, we in it. Bro, Attack on Titan will live on forever. Attack on Titan's such a good show. Like, it transcends. It's one of those shows that transcends anime. Like, you could show that hoe to your mom and she'd be locked in on that hoe.
Attack on Titan. There are a couple of anime out there that become so popular, they make it into the mainstream. And even though it's kind of difficult to point to a single series that made anime as popular as it is today, if I had to choose one, it would definitely be Attack on Titan. The epic scale of the battles, the complex.
I know I'm pausing a lot. Chill out though. It's a great topic. If you had to choose one, it would be okay. That's not bad. I got Attack on Titan is in my top 3. But a reason why anime is as popular it is today, excluding Dragon Ball, you gotta go with the toe. You gotta go with Naruto. I ain't gonna lie. You have to. Naruto is the most popular outside of Dragon Ball. Like, facts. And I'm not going to lie, Dragon Ball got like a 15, 20 year head start. Man.
City of the story, the insane character development, and the genuine fear you felt watching it. All of this is packaged in some of the best animation from some of the best studios out there. I mean, this thing completely changed what everyone expected from anime. People who had never even touched that stuff before thought this was some of the coolest stuff they'd ever seen. Attack on Titan is like the series that proved anime could be this really cool piece of mainstream entertainment while simultaneously having this interesting story that wasn't just for kids or hardcore
facts.
Listen, there are a lot of masterpieces that aren't on this list because I just don't think they'll hit the same in 10 or 20 years. But Attack on Titan is definitely not one of them. I mean, to this day, there are still memes of this series, and that's usually the sign of a timeless piece of fiction.
Get tenders,
I mean, that's facts though.
Wedges, and
that's
a
facts
Dr.
though.
Pepper for $8.
Talk about timeless
Only
though.
Pilot and Flying J.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app.
I'm about to glaze Naruto again.
Guys,
boy, let me shut up.
Nina just built an app.
Apart from being a generational banger, Cyberpunk Edge Runners also did something that I had never seen before. The thing you need to know about this anime is that it was an adaptation of the Cyberpunk 2077 video.
I never watched
this. When this game came out, it was full of bugs, it didn't work, and people just kind of hated it. But then the creators decided to turn this world into an anime, and bam, people loved it. It was so good that everyone kind of forgot about the failure of the game, which gave the studio enough time to work on it and turn it into the Cyberpunk 2077 we know today, which is apparently amazing. But apart from, having this amazing, beautiful story about the creation, Cyberpunk Edge Runners was also beautiful in every possible way. What really set it apart is how emotionally powerful it became in just, 10 episodes. More than most anime out there can do in hundreds. It won Anime of the Year, which makes it sorta hard not to put it on this list. But let's be honest, saying that it wasn't incredible would just be kind of cap.
JJK got it.
Listen,
for sure.
I know it's cool to hate on Jujutsu Kaisen nowadays, but there is absolutely no amount of copium that could convince me this isn't a...
It's a generational banger. I'm not gonna lie, I heard they sold the ending, but even with that, like, I feel like it doesn't really matter. It's too clouded at this point. It's also I seen RDC say not too long ago it is the most spoiled anime of all time. Facts. Um, too many people are hype about this show. Too many people love this show. Um, it will be around in 10, 20 years for sure. Edge Runners though, I'll say it'll be mentioned in like niche, somewhat niche for whatever niche anime conversations look like in 20 years. I think it'll be in like niche anime conversations in 20 years, but for a 10 episode anime to be obviously I haven't seen it, but that had to be fantastic for people to be mentioning it in 15, 20 years, like as one of the greatest, as a classic. It has to be fantastic.
Certified classic, JJK is going to be remembered as the series that took the modern shonen formula.
You don't even have to watch JJK to know this.
It brought this whole epic fighting thing, more than you could ever imagine, while simultaneously having this Game of Thrones feeling where important characters were getting slain every couple of episodes, which felt really fresh and dark and cool. The journey hits all the classic shonen stuff you'd ever want, but the cursed energy power system, the moral complexity of the world, and the characters like Gojo and Sukuna, who became some of the most legendary anime characters in recent history. And I'm not even talking about the fact that almost every episode had fights that looked better than the best fights in most other series. If you put all of these elements together, it's honestly kind of impossible to say JJK won't be a classic. It doesn't really feel like it changed shonen anime forever like Chainsaw Man, for example, but it definitely feels like it pushed it to a peak. And just so you know, this series has 2 seasons, and both of the seasons won Anime of the Year. So...
Haikyuu.
Sports
Haikyuu is a good pick, and he about to lay it down. Let me see.
Is a massive category within anime. And Haikyuu is basically the series that took this genre and perfected it. It took a pretty niche sport and somehow made it feel like the most epic thing ever. I mean, to this day, there are still a ton of videos of people talking about these inspirational Haikyuu moments. Even I started playing volleyball because of freaking Haikyuu. When a fiction...
Slow down. It's a great show, though. And I don't even mind volleyball, but hold on now.
Sports anime genuinely inspires people to go out and play the actual sport in real life, you know you've achieved something truly special. This series gave awesome development to literally dozens of characters and multiple teams without any...
I don't really like sports, not sports anime. I'll say basketball anime. Just off the clips, I haven't watched a full one in totality, but it's for this reason. I don't really like basketball anime. I'm trying to watch Kuroko no Basket, but it's just like I'm such a big basketball fan, and I have been for so long that like if I watch the animation, like the animation just looks stiff to me compared to watching real basketball. Either I'm talking about it could be like the NBA, it could be college, even though I don't watch college, or it could be me literally just sitting there watching people at pickup. Like the movements that I see in these basketball anime clips, they are so stiff, up, down, left, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that. I don't like that. Basketball is too fluid of a sport to get that off. Feel me? It's too fluid of a sport to get that off. Like, I could watch Blue Lock, even if that may be stiffer than actual soccer, because I don't watch soccer. You feel what I'm saying? But I can't, like, you can't replicate what Kyrie does in an anime. It's just not possible. It's too stiff. Unless it was like the highest quality of animation, movie tier level, you know what I'm saying, where it literally looks like butter flowing off the, you know what I'm saying? Unless it's like that, which they can't afford, obviously, to do on an episode per basis, I can't really get into it on the basketball tip, though.
Of them feeling like some random background character. Each character had their own personal motivations, their own fears, their own growth arc that mattered, which created this incredibly rich cast that made every single match feel very important. Honestly, I think there's a solid 100% chance that you would find at least one of these characters super...
One thing, it was like, they was like talking, I'm not caught up on Haikyuu. I watched a good bit of it. They was like, it was like the senior that was like on a team, and maybe I'm just misunderstanding. Bro, they was hyping this matchup, like this tournament up, like, or they went to the playoffs or something. Like they're talking about, like, oh my god, this is last year. We gotta go crazy. We gotta go crazy. We gotta go crazy. We gotta go crazy first last year. We gotta win the chip first last year. And it was building up suspense. Spoiler alert, they lost, and somehow, some way, bro is still on the team playing in the next tournament. I'm like, what? What? And I feel like they did that same thing with that same character again, but I could be tripping on that part. But I'm like, what was that? Because also the Japanese school system is a little different, like how they work with stuff. So I don't know. I think they only got 3 years in high school too. So it's like,
relatable, even if you don't play any kind of sport. I strongly believe this is and will be the sports anime to dethrone for a long time.
facts. That's facts.
You might think it's generic, you might think it's boring, you might even think it's bad. But when Demon Slayer first came out, it felt like anime suddenly went into this whole new world of popularity. I mean, if you know people that don't like anime that much and they've maybe watched like one anime or something, there's a solid chance it was Demon Slayer. It became...
This was the COVID boom too. This
massive series internationally in ways that most anime never even come close to. And honestly, I think Demon Slayer is great, but I'm not gonna lie, the biggest reason it's going to be a classic is the animation. And that's fine. The fact is,
people be mad over that. I'll be like, yo, bro, it's a great show. It's a fantastic show. I love this show. I love Tanjiro as a main character. I love the show. But people act like you can't give it no critiques, like, or not even no critiques, just like rank it at anything lower than a 9 out of, or wait, well, I don't know what I rank it. People act like you can't rank it anything lower than a 10 out of 10. People act like it's the best anime of all time, and I feel like that hype has kind of died down a little bit since the show has continued. But like when it first dropped, you couldn't tell people nothing. People was, boy, buying their bandwagon tickets, boy, just hopping on the train just so they, you know what I'm saying? I feel like people be doing that just so they will like can like be like, oh my god, I'm on the bandwagon. I was here first. I've been repping this. You know what I'm saying? Like, chill, little bro. It's so much glaze on your lips. It's blocking out it's distracting you from the fact that the story wasn't even that crazy in comparison to previous shows. It just wasn't. The animation was top tier though. Top tier though. But it is what it is. I'm excited to see how this show ends though.
Thing completely annihilated
that
animation
with
standards
the
for the entire industry. There have always been beautiful looking anime with incredible animation, but Demon Slayer just pushed the boundary so much and forced everyone else to step up their game. Without exaggeration, every single episode felt like a movie. I mean, even the last season, which is pretty much a bunch of nothing, looks like a movie, and you can truly see the impact it's had. In terms of animation, there was a before Demon Slayer, and now there is an after Demon Slayer.
I think Attack on Titan, even in 2013, was banging with Demon Slayer. Not on like a movement standpoint, but Attack on Titan was the first show I seen, and I was like, oh nah, they really went crazy, and they're doing it every episode. Like, this is butter. This is not really, not the most movement butter, even though the movement was buttery, but like, it was crazy. Just on the animation tip.
Free is the highest rated anime of all time. So...
Sorry to interrupt, but this is important. The shooter who murdered my sweet little Daniel...
No, I'm kidding. I mean, Free Run is the highest rated anime of all time, but that's not the reason it's going to be a classic. Anime has pretty much always been dominated by these epic series where people fight and, you know, there are adventures and there's always just something happening. But sometimes you'll get these calmer series here and there that usually don't do that well, except for Free Run.
I don't like how people be mad at that though. People be mad when someone only watches like shonen anime or something. I don't only watch shonen, but like, people be mad when people only watch brother, what? Be mad because that's the type of anime they like? Like, what? You talking about?
The full
you mad because they're not watching drama, slice of life anime? Like, what? What are you talking about right now?
Of the series is actually Free Run Beyond journey's end. And that's because it takes place after the journey has
Did
already
they just
ended.
switch up the fit on me? Hold on.
Sometimes you'll get these
Does he have a feature in this show?
calmer series here and there that usually don't do that well, except for Free Ren. The full title of the series is actually Free Ren Beyond Journey's End. And that's because it takes place after the journey has already ended. After the big adventure where the characters, beat the big boss.
Who is
Free
this?
Ren has this slower approach to storytelling that shouldn't have worked, but it absolutely did. The series actually took its
Why did his
time
voice
to
just
let
go
moments
monotone
breathe
like that
and to
out of
explore
nowhere?
everyday stuff. It wasn't slow just to be different. It was done on purpose to give you a completely different experience from anything out there. Honestly, if I describe this to someone, they'd probably think it sounds extremely boring until they actually put it on and realize that every single thing about it is perfect and their eyes are freaking glued to the screen. It's not always flashy or spectacular or epic, but Free Ren is undeniably a classic.
エマはハウスが好き？
ハウスもママも大好き。
I
Yeah, oh yeah, get into
want
it.
to be very, very clear here. I am talking about The Promised Neverland Season 1, not Season 2. Season 1 only.
You can't do that though. You can't do that and be like it's gonna be a classic. You just can't do that. Unfortunately, this show was so good and had so much potential, but like, bro, I didn't even watch season 2. I just heard how foul they did it. My homie was talking to me. He said, "Yo, season 2, boom, 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 boom." I'm like, "Oh, bet I'm there." Bro, but he was like, "Nah, you don't want to be there, big bro, because they caught they apparently it's 100 chapters in the show. They can in the manga that they condensed down into, or like 130, 150 chapters. They condensed it down into a 12 episode season. Excuse me, brother? What?" And then my homie watched the show. He came back to me. He said, "Yeah, they cut out mad important." I said, "Let me not even grace my eyes with that bullshittery."
I can't really reveal what it's about, but I remember watching the first episode and just not being able to stop after that. Every twist was unexpected. Every jump scare was,
It was
freaking
so
terrifying.
fire.
Every character was interesting. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of horror in general. I'm one of those people that'll watch a scary movie and literally think about it for weeks.
I guess
The
it is
Promised
kind of
Neverland
horror.
Season
Yeah.
1 is absolutely something I would rewatch. It was a masterclass that proved anime could deliver some incredible psychological thrillers. It created genuine tension and dread in ways that only some rare anime like Attack on Titan managed to. What made The Promised Neverland Season 1 genuinely special was its absolutely perfect control over pacing and how much information it gave you. It knew exactly when to drop important details, when to hold back, and when to deliver those shocking revelations that completely changed everything you thought you understood. If you're even a little bit kind of interested in thrillers or horror, watch it right now. This series is such a
Facts.
good way of getting into anime if you're interested in those genres.
This is
and
like
it's
the-
definitely a classic
This
in
is
the
like the
making.
only
The
show I
venom from
would
it won't hurt
recommend
us if we
a
eat it.
season 1 to.
Fantasy and cooking. A weird
Please just say
cooking.
The venom from it won't hurt us if we eat it.
Delicious in Dungeon. I have actually never heard of this.
Fantasy and cooking. A
me
weird
on something,
combination
bruh.
that somehow works. And I don't know why. Delicious in Dungeon is an anime that grabbed two completely different genres and somehow fused them together so well that it created something genuinely unique and absolutely delicious. It approached fantasy world building
Bro. Bro.
genuinely
like-
unique and absolutely delicious.
The way they be having food looking on these food shows is like actually like it's got to be sexual in some sort of way, bro. Like you got it. That's the only way to describe it, bro. Like, why does this look good? I don't even know what this is. I can't read this. I don't know what this is. It looks fuego. I want a bite of all of it. Boom, 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 boom. All of
It
it.
approached fantasy world building by asking these questions that we always think about, but we never really
Didn't
get a
even look like
reply
a
to.
finished
How do
dish, and I
adventurers
still wanna
actually
eat it.
survive in these dangerous places? What does the ecosystem of a dungeon look like? It's funny, epic, scary, but most importantly, it is such a feel-good series. You can put this on whenever you're feeling a bit down or just chilling, and it will instantly bring a smile to your face. Delicious in Dungeon is the kind of anime that absolutely anyone can enjoy. And because of that, it's going to be remembered for a long time.
I have no enemies.
Vinland Saga is one of the
Chill. chill. Don't spoil too much of season 2. I gotta get into that. Season 1 was absolute gas though, absolute fuego. And from what I'm hearing from season 2, or what I've heard about season 2, it sounds like something that I will love because the character development is absolutely through the roof from what I've heard. But
best pieces of
I gotta
storytelling in
watch.
anime history, period. This anime brought literary quality to the medium while keeping all the cool visual stuff that makes anime awesome in the first place. Anyone who's a fan of history
My
is
God.
going to enjoy Vinland Saga because of its insane commitment to authenticity. Honestly, I've never been a big Viking guy, but the attention to
Bro, I was literally saying like, okay, what's the next thing for anime? Like like a couple years before this drop, I was like, okay, they got the martial arts, that's technically Dragon Ball. They got ninjas, they got pirates, you know what I'm saying? They got all these things. I'm like, the sports is on lock. You feel me? I was like, what is the next thing? I said, we need a Viking anime. 2 years later, this whole drop. I said, what?
detail in this one is so strong I just couldn't stop myself from enjoying it. But the part that's truly awesome is the character development. Season 1 turns the main character into this revenge-obsessed warrior, which is kind of your basic anime stuff. While Season 2 takes
I'll let it play.
incredibly risky step of completely changing the series from action adventure to something way slower and more thoughtful. And
People don't like that though.
That this was an incredible choice. It resulted in a character masterclass that unfolds over years. And on top of that, it has created some of the coolest villains in general. This isn't the most flashy anime on the list. In fact, it's probably the least flashy anime on this.
Oh damn, Pussy Rain this Schnauzer. People don't like that though. People was like, from some of my friends that watched this and was like, oh my god, it's so slow. Like where did the action go? And I guess that's kind of fair for a show that had like top tier, and I do mean top tier like action in the previous season, but it's like, yo, you got to understand where they're going with it, especially when you rewatch season 1. You get to see exactly why this comes to be. Like, oh my god, it's so good. I'm about to watch season 2 tonight.
List. But the impact it had and is still having now easily makes it a future classic. And considering it single-handedly created one of the most wholesome trends with the "I have no enemies" line, I would say that's a pretty strong sign of how much impact it's going to have.
Listen to her.
Mob Psycho?
We're here because
I don't know.
Gaza still needs your support.
Headlines fake.
When I watched Mob Psycho 100, I definitely didn't think of it as anything special. Kind of like Vinland Saga, it's way more low-key than all the other series on this list. But as I kept watching, it became
I was just gonna watch a video on this show. I ain't gonna lie, because it's like, I don't know.
Pretty obvious just how much love and passion went into making this. The manga was originally drawn by one who's this amazing author with a very unusual art style. But when Studio Bones adapted his manga, instead of changing how it looked, they decided to go with this super simple style. And it just works. This series throws absolutely everything at you, from completely sketching looking sequences to beautifully animated fights to hilarious comedy moments. And it balances all of these things extremely well. Again, it's way more low-key than all the series here, but I still think that you'll have an awesome time watching it. It has this timeless quality of an anime you'll still be able to appreciate in 20 years and think, huh, that was pretty cool. It's simple.
Facts. I'll give it that. I don't think it will be classic. Truly, like I said, I could be wrong because I didn't watch it. But just from what I got my ear to the anime streets. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I have since I've been watching anime, to be honest. But like, this is the way you can tell by the way you hear people talk about these shows. It's like, this is definitely going to be a cult classic for sure. It's going to be one of those more niche. What was the last thing I said was going to be a niche classic? I can't forget it. I can't remember exactly what I said. It was going to be a niche classic, but this will definitely be a cult classic. It's going to be like a nicher, but it's still going to be above the last thing I said. Damn, I can't remember the last thing I said was a niche classic.
It's short, it's versatile, a future classic. Believe
I have not watched 1,000-Year Blood War either. I did watch all of Bleach though. I will say that. I'm sorry.
Bleach is an anime that actually ended almost 15 years ago after adapting approximately 2/3 of the manga. But after
You know what else ended approximately 15 years ago? Not Naruto. Naruto ended like 10 years ago. But Naruto's ability to, I'm gonna keep putting glaze on it. I don't give a damn. Naruto's inability to fall off after like 10 years of not airing. Somebody gotta study that motherfucker.
all this time, we were finally blessed with a new series, and trust me, the wait was so worth it. Listen, there's a reason every single episode has the ratings it has. It's because there is such an incredible...
I did hear they get a little silly with the powers and the power scaling, the power system, which at the end of the day, it's not the be-all, end-all, but yeah, I'm saying it will go into my rating.
Absurd amount of effort put into each one of them. You can just tell that the people who made this have a deep respect for the source material. They removed all the bad stuff from the original series and added way more of what made it amazing in the first place. Those intense action sequences and the memorable characters. And they did all that while updating the entire presentation for modern
great roster of characters.
This anime somehow managed to deliver on literally decades of anticipation while
outside of Chad, I'll never be able to get down with Chad. I'm sorry. Chad is trash.
Somehow exceeding the expectations that hardcore fans had for years. Bleach: Thousand Year Blood War is one of the most successful anime comebacks in history. The original series is a classic now, and this new series will absolutely be a classic later. Chainsaw Man didn't...
I have not watched Chainsaw Man either, but that I don't know. Like, Chainsaw Man is one of those things I threw on my list, but it's like, am I really gonna watch it? Like, I never took Chainsaw Man serious as like a serious thing to watch, even though I obviously I've heard it's good, bro.
Didn't have the mainstream impact of Demon Slayer or Attack on Titan, but it was pretty freaking close. This series took shonen tropes and completely destroyed them while simultaneously delivering all the chaotic insanity that makes this genre amazing. In that sense, I think that both Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man perfected battle anime, but if I had to choose which of these two went in a more original direction, it would have to be Chainsaw Man. The cherry on the top was how MAPPA's animation brought Tatsuki Fujimoto's completely unique manga to life with his more cinematic style, a style that's slowly becoming the standard for a lot of anime. But what really pushes Chainsaw Man into future classic territory is how it was the start of this entire generation.
Mappa got these new anime in a chokehold. They're doing Kagurabachi, I heard, and they're doing the new Boruto series. Like, oh, them workers is
of new anime. I think it's kind of the reason a lot of series are going into this more mature and dark direction instead of the stuff we used to see like 10, 20 years ago. Listen, Chainsaw Man is not my favorite thing at all, but without exaggerating, it feels like a revolutionary series. I'm not gonna lie, I was really hesitating to put Dandadan here purely because of how insane and weird and colorful it is compared to pretty much, you know, everything out there. But then I remembered that the same studio that made Dandadan also made another anime a couple of years ago, and that was Devilman Crybaby. Even though both of these series are massively different, I definitely think that Devilman laid the foundation for visually experimental anime like Dandadan. It looks and feels so weird compared to everything you can think.
Should I watch this? I got one recommendation to watch this, but I don't be hearing about it. I don't be hearing about it. Like, I guess I'll watch it, but it's like, it's not high on the list. Should it be high on the list?
And it also has this specific style of fluid animation that was really ahead of its time. These bizarre character designs, those bold
liking this
color
animation,
choices that jump at your eyeballs.
Like, literally, I don't even see clips of this. I didn't even know the animation looked like
in
this.
Ways that are still influencing animators and directors today. People either loved it or found it very disturbing, but it definitely left everyone feeling some kind of way. And after watching Devilman, you can sort of see the first steps of a lot of the stuff that's coming out nowadays. I mean, it's pretty telling that it won Anime of the Year. And even though it came out a few years ago, it still has a very unique feel that's going to be hard to replicate. And fine.
Get the cock out your mouth. What you talking about? One Piece. I love One Piece. One Piece is top 3 for me. But what are you talking about? It's already a classic. You just wanted an excuse to put it on here. What? One Piece can end tomorrow. It's a classic. You just try to sneak it on here because it didn't end. It was a brother. This show was a classic 10 years ago. What are we talking about?
I do not think there is a better place to end than with One Piece. In my eyes, the original anime is already a classic, but I genuinely think that we'll look back at this period of One Piece in like 10 years and also think of it as a classic. I mean, if it's over by then, I have no idea, honestly.
I guess I'll accept that. I guess it's you still jock riding, but like golly, I'll take
Could
it.
be 20 more years, 30 more years. Oh my gosh, am I going to be alive when One Piece is over? It's the perfect example of an anime that didn't just rely on its hardcore fans and nostalgia to stay relevant.
Especially
This
now that the
thing has
fights
been
really
going
got
on
to that
for
level.
over 1,000 episodes, and it has somehow managed to integrate every single thing that has made modern anime awesome-tacular. I know a lot of people are saying that One Piece is slowly getting worse and worse, but I just have to disagree. One Piece has genuinely maintained excellence over an impossible period of time.
I don't know how you watch Wano and think that's getting worse, gang. I'm sorry. You might just be getting tired of the show at that point. I ain't gonna lie. Wano, bro. I know Wano was long, but like, brother, Wano was excellent.
Even though the series still has terrible pacing issues, they've managed to adapt it to modern audiences. And they've turned it into something that could easily compete against stuff that's been coming out in the last couple of years. I mean, the fact that I can talk to someone who started watching One Piece like 20 years ago and we can nerd out about an episode that came out like last week or something. I mean, if there's a sign of a classic, that's it, you know? Those are the modern anime that I'm absolutely convinced will be remembered in 10, 20, 30 years from now. When people ask what anime actually defined the 2010s, 2020s, these are the series we're going to remember. And I'll be standing there with my white hair saying stuff like, you know, "Ah, yes, that was a great time for anime."
Facts. You still glazing because it's like it was already a classic, but it's acceptable glaze. It's acceptable. W.